Playwright. Open cart, right? Open cart. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So here, what is happening here? So I created one Jenkins file. You have to be so same way in the root directory. You have to create a Jenkins file if you want to create a pipeline. The pipeline is nothing but a different. It's a stream, right? So one place it starts and ends another place. That's a pipeline. So in that pipeline, if you want to build, you have to create a Jenkins file. So J capital and everything same. The letters, everything should be same. In that you have, first you will start with the pipeline keyword, then agent, okay, which agent you want to run. So then different tools we can use. Then the main thing is the stages. The stages is, so what are the different stages? I told you, right, build, you can build, so this is the steps. So stages, below you have a stage, and the stage below you have a steps. You can write multiple steps also in under one stage. The next stage. So these are all you are seeing here. The first one is a build, right? The first one is build. That is the first stage name you can see here. Then second stage name you can see here. So deploy to QA. That's a second stage. And the third stage is regression automation test. You can see regression automation test. So this is the each stage you can create with a stage keyword. And then the stage below you have a steps. So like, even in the GitHub actions, there is a jobs, right? Jobs below job. Job below you have a steps. So here, instead of jobs, people are calling here stages. That's the difference between GitHub Actions and this one. So the stage and each stage, you see now another stage, publish extent reports. So that's what I have written here. And all extent reports we are publishing. But somehow it might work for you. You can try the same, okay, and give your so GitHub URL. And then try this same thing and you creating with, but just replace with your GitHub URLs and try it out. So again, remaining thing, everything, keep it as it is. You don't need to change. Here you don't need to change. But this report, the test results we have, right? That report I have given the directory name. You give whatever the directory you have given here for reporting, that reporting directory you give. So remaining it will be same and automatically it will create for you. And then, so here, let me take you to the configure. So in the job, you have to create a job. Generally, you have to create a job, right? So in the job, right, when you create a job, you will get, right, all this. You don't need to do anything. Just give some description. And you don't need to do anything here. Just directly come to pipeline area. In the pipeline, there are two options. One is pipeline script from SCM. Pipeline script from SCM means you have a Jenkins file in your GitHub repository. In the root directory of your project, there is a Jenkins file. So such cases, you can select this one. If you don't have that, you can select this and you have to give that entire, whatever this one, right? This entire thing, you have to give this here. So we are not giving that. Okay, we have a Jenkins file and that's why we are giving. Then you specify the SCM as a Git and a repository URL. You give your repository URL. That's what I have given. This is my repository URL. So this is my repository URL. I have given that. So that's what I specified. And then you don't need to specify any credentials or nothing. Yours is not a private repository. Yours is a public. That's why you don't need to give credentials. If it is a private repository, you need to provide the credentials. Okay, you can create a credentials, add, and you can give the credentials. So even I created a credentials also, but mine is not a public. Mine is not a private repository. So I don't need to pass that credentials. If it is a private, General in the companies, private will be there. So you need to pass it. And then, okay, what is your branch? So the branch is, you can see here, the main branch. It's a main branch. You can see here, main branch. So that's what I have passed here, main branch. And then the script path. So that is a Jenkins file. So that you have a Jenkins file here. So this Jenkins file, you need to pass it here. That's it. Then just apply, save it, and click on build. So automatically it's a build will trigger. You just click on build now, see build is triggered. So it will start and executing step by step. So once it is all stages completed, reports are published, then there will be another step will be there, final step, publish to Artifactory there. So your application will be published. So ready to deploy. This is all continuous integration, this one. Running your test cases, everything is continuous integration. Next step, once the Artifactory is created, the continuous deployment will start. The continuous deployment when that is all the environments will be configured for this URL. It will generate one URL with this build, it will generate one URL. That URL you can use to deploy in different environments. So you have to get some approvals. Development team will do their approval, their deployment. When it comes to testing, if they want to deploy, even development also, if they want to deploy in the testing environments, they should get approval from you because you are the tester, you are going to manage that environment. Your QA manager or anybody will approve that, then only they can deploy. Otherwise, they are not going to allow to deploy directly. Their development environments, they can deploy, but they cannot deploy on the testing environments without testers' approvals. Like that, step by step, it will go. So let me show you that how the flow will happen. So once this will generate the Artifactory URL, okay? So this will generate the, so this one is the CA, okay? So this will generate Artifactory URL. So one URL you will get it. So after this URL, you have a different stages now here. So you have a development environment, you have a QA environment, you have a UAT environment, you have a production, right? So now this is the deployment, CD, so continuous deployment we call that. So what we call this continuous deployment we call that. So this one is continuous integration is done till now. Now this one is continuous deployment. This is CD. This is called CD, continuous deployment. So there is a 3 CDs, right? CA, CD, CD. This is the deployment. There is one more CD, one more delivery, continuous delivery. All are different. So this is called CI, continuous integration. And this one is called once the Artifactory URL is generated, then deployment, continuous deployment will start. So this is the dev environment, and this is QA environment, and this is UAT, and this one is a prod. So prod, so you are not allowed to do that. So only here, control is done by here, only by testing team. This is the one. This is how it will happen. So this is on release date, it will happen by SRE team, operations team will do that. So you just need to, SRE team, we call this operations team. What we call them? Operations team. So operations team will just approve to deploy this code because you are testing, you will test here, you will test here. Then after sign off only, it will come to production. Without no signing off, and that feature won't go to production. So this is the process, general process in any company. So this process is asking in the interviews also, okay? So you explain. So continuous integration first explain. So after building, unit test cases and functional test cases will execute, and then it will generate one artifactory URL. That artifactory URL will be, so can be deployed into, so development environment, QA environment, UAT, and only in the release date, release time, the operations team will deploy. Only they have the approvals. You will send a mail to operations team. Okay, so on this release date, you can deploy my code. On the release date only you have to send a mail, not other times. So generally development team will do that. You don't need to worry about that. So as a QA tester, you don't need to worry. Your job is here. Test it thoroughly. Test it here and provide a sign off. Then only they can move this code to production. Otherwise, it is not going to be moved to production. Clear? So this is the regular process in any company. Any questions?
Ramesh, generally, like in some companies, like for every stage, they will ask to raise some artifact, something which you want from dev to test to UAT. That every stage will be given separately, right? And they will need approve from particular team. Will this be?
Is all. No, first it has to move this flow like this only.
Yeah. The flow is same. But every team, see, from dev to QA, if it is give sign off or something, then only it will move.
But again, until release date, you have to wait.
Yeah.
Until this, because you need time for testing, right? The development team will take some time to write the code and to build it, and they will take some time, and deploy here, they will take some time. Then you will get a chance now to test it on these environments. So all this process takes a lot of time. Once you sign off only, then it will move to other environment.
Okay. Generally, if they ask what is the process, we need to explain entirely.
This entire process explained. So this is the first, the continuous integration process, then continuous deployment process. The continuous delivery means once, okay, delivered, what is the application behavior? So
stable or not, that all will be given in.
Operations team keep monitoring that. So any issues are there, then they will redirect to development team. Okay, so they'll keep on monitoring, observing, and they will check the health checks of the application. So many things they will keep on doing that.
Yeah, 3 months they will give some time to get whether stable or not, that things.
Stable or not, if stable, okay, so the end users are able to use it properly or not. So these are all operations team will take care there. So this is the continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery means. All
together we can explain for them, like this is how the flow will be.
Right. If they ask you whatever the stage, you explain that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any questions?
I got a requirement like a UAT test engineer, particularly they asking for UAT. What is the difference between normal QA and UAT?
So UAT is user acceptance test cases, the end-to-end test cases, the real use cases you will execute. Here you will do all positive, negative, right? So here user-oriented, like, you take Amazon. So what you will do, what is your use case there? You will go and search the product and you will add to the cart and you will buy the product and you will do so many things, right? End-to-end. That kind of UAT testing, you will do that. That is the UAT. So the user scenarios only will execute there.
Okay.
That's again testing only, but just you will differentiate. He can easily see that here you will do one feature, right? Particular feature you will test in the staging environment, testing environment.
Product, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The even product owners will participate here, and also senior testers will participate here. Mostly business analysts, they will participate in the UAT environment. Even along with the testers, one tester must be there. The senior testers who is having a better idea on the application.
But yeah, when we used to do this UAT testing before going prod, Ramesh, mostly I used to do this one UAT testing. When they push the code to UAT and I'll start that UAT test, I'll say go ahead, and then only evening we will have a prod. Before prod we will have this UAT testing.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Particularly, they're asking, right? So I used to do this UAT testing after QA environment. So I don't know why they're particularly asking. Is there any other?
No, nothing, nothing. You just have the fair idea on that. The user scenarios, how user will use your application. That's a UAT. Other than that,
yeah, we have different data for that.
Exactly. Yeah. End user's perspective, you will test there. And also this environment is going to be mimicked by this prod configurations here. Okay, so that's the another thing. Okay, are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.